The Great Depression took place from 1929 to 1939. It was a painful time of global economical collapse. It started with the economical crash of the stock market on October 29, 1929. Finance was at a crisis as prices were at an all-time high. Investors acquired stock using risky methods, and the central banking system raised interest rates that made people nervous about borrowing money and investing. This hurt demand, thus causing the crash of the stock market. 2 months after the original crash in October, stockholders had lost more than $40 billion. Even though the stock market began to regain some of its losses, by the end of 1930, it just was not enough.
In 1931, the Federal Reserve, or the central banking system of the United States, again increased the interest rate with an even more disastrous effect. As people bought and invested less, businesses closed and banks failed, throwing millions out of work. The cycle spiraled steadily downward. The jobless could not afford to buy goods, and even more factories had to close, which in turn increased unemployment. People slept on park benches and lined up to eat in soup kitchens. The economic problems quickly spread around the world. American banks stopped making loans abroad and demanded repayment of foreign loans. Without support from the United States, Germany suffered. It could not make its reparations payments. France and Britain were not able to make their own loan payments. Desperate governments tried to protect their economies from foreign competition. The United States imposed the highest tariffs in its history. The policy backfired when other nations retaliated by raising their tariffs. In 1932 and 1933, global world trade sank to its 1900 level. A drought hit several central states in 1934. After years of this drought and overfarming, huge winds blew across the plains. The winds picked up and carried away the topsoil exposed by erosion, creating the Dust Bowl. The storms destroyed crops, land, and equipment. Thousands of farmers lost their land. Many migrated to the cities of the West Coast in search of work and a new life.
President Herbert Hoover firmly believed that the government should not intervene in private business matters. Even so, he did try a variety of limited measures to solve the crisis. Nothing seemed to work. In 1932, Americans elected a new president, Franklin D. Roosevelt. FDR argued that the government had to take an active role in combating the Great Depression. He introduced the New Deal, a massive package of economic and social programs. Under the New Deal, the federal government became more directly involved in people's everyday lives than ever before. New laws regulated the stock market and protected the bank deposits. Government programs created jobs and gave aid to farmers. A new social security system provided pensions for the elderly and other benefits.
FDR's New Deal increased the role of government in people's lives to unprecedented levels that continued long after America had recovered from the Great Depression. Many people who survived the Great Depression would remain frugal throughout the rest of their lives, wary of banks, inclined to hoard food, and suspicious of the stock market. The economy didn't start to recover until the start of World War II.